Hi guys, it's Nancy. Welcome back to my channel, and it is Blue Night Rubber Stamps Thursday, and I have this little country church stamp, and I've already colored one image with it. I did this one with colored pencils and some Gamsol, and it just, I don't know, reminds me of like Little House on the Prairie or something, right? So it looks so fun, unique. Here in Pennsylvania, we have a lot of old churches, so definitely I think that a lot of people can relate to driving by and seeing something, you know, fun and cute like this. However, I wanted to do another image, and we're going to color it with alcohol-based markers, and I wanted to do an evening one. So I've already stamped the image out, and I am reminded of when I was younger, and my mom is Korean, so she would make us go to church every Sunday, as you know, many of us did when we were younger. And with being a military child, you know, oftentimes we lived in communities where there wasn't a huge presence of Korean families. So it would usually be a smaller church, and every Sunday we'd go to church, and the cool thing about it was we got fed. Like, they always had lunch. So, you know, even though I didn't always understand what the pastor was saying because he was saying it in Korean, I knew that after church I would get some yummy Korean food. So this kind of reminds me of that, you know, a little reminiscent of in the summertime we would go on like picnics, like I'm going to assume that a lot of churches do summer picnics and things like that. And we could play volleyball and things like that, and have food inside, outside, wherever. You always had the old grandmas that was always feeding everybody, and, you know, kids running around. And so this image, I wanted to do a little bit of a different scene, kind of like a twilight scene, like it's starting to get dark out. So we're going to color this in. And then we'll make the sky a little bit darker in color. Okay, so, and I'm just using the alcohol markers I have. I have a mixture of Spectrum Noir. I have Copics. I have Arteza. So use what you have. There's no rule that says you cannot mix and match what you have. You know, I bet that if this were the tree in front of my church, I bet there are many children that would have climbed up this tree. And I will cut this panel down to a little bit smaller than what is on here. I'll cut it down to 5 by 3 and 5 by 3 3/4 is what I'll end up cutting it down to before I mat it. Go. I don't normally do a lot of coloring on camera because I think it takes a while, and I'm not really that good at it, but for this one, it's not too much to color. I thought you guys wouldn't mind seeing my super messy coloring process here. All right, and then for the church, I have some Cool Gray C1. There's actually quite an abundance of churches all over the world, but I went to visit Ireland in 2009, and they were selling them off. And right down the street from my house actually is an old church that someone purchased, and they turned it into a home. They're living in it. So that's pretty neat when you drive by and you realize that it's an old church. It still has the old stained glass windows. But then when you go to, drive by it, you realize, oh, there's somebody living in there. I'm not going to go too fancy with the windows on this one. We're just going to do a light glow. This is C3, so a little bit darker than the first gray we did. I hear little children running up and down my steps. Can't wait for spring to get here. I am tired of all of this Pennsylvania snow. We have C5, which is even darker gray. I'm just going to keep layering these darker colors on. I'm going to go back with the C3 and blend this out a little bit. And with the C1. This is C7, just going in and darkening some of those stones. Okay, and then the last part is to add this kind of twilight sky here. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple background here. And this is Violet 15, V15. Violet, you're turning violet. Name that movie. Oops, just colored over the fence. That's okay. All right, and then let's see here. We have V05, which is more of a pinky purple. So we're going to kind of blend some of that in here. And I want to kind of blur that line together for the two of them. The more color you put down, the better it's going to blend. I think that's what I was most afraid about with coloring with alcohol markers, is trying to get everything to blend. And then I learned the secret is to saturate your paper pretty good, and then you will get better blending. A little bit of pink, a little bit of purple. We're going to just deepen that purple a little bit in V17. So we have V15, V05, and V17, which is going to be much darker in color. And of course, you can use your pan pastels and go in and do the sky. Okay, and then for the tree and the church, I really want to kind of give them this dark look. So I'm going to take my C3, which is my cool gray, and I'm going to go over the tree, and you're going to see it's just going to darken it. It's not going to change my colors. It just shades everything darker. It just kind of blends them all together. So they're not as bright. They're toned down. I don't lose any of their original color. So everything that was green still looks green. Everything that was yellow is still yellow. But by covering it with this C3, this gray, it just tones everything down and takes it back a notch a little bit. So now we have this evening, like I said, twilight sky that I was going for. All right, so I'm going to cut this down, put my sentiment on it, and then I think I'm done with it. It really wasn't that hard to do. I'm going to add a little bit of gel pen stars to there, I think. What color is this? Is this white? This doesn't look like it's coming out white. Looks like it's silver. Okay, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. I also want to try to cut it semi-straight because right now it is not straight. That is pretty good. Just cleaning up the edges to my panel here. Make sure I go in and blend out any missed spots. Okay, that all blended pretty nicely. I think we need some people. Let me add some people to this. Hold on. Okay, I grabbed a sentiment and I grabbed some little people here. See if they will work out. Let me grab my mini Misty because we want to make sure that everything stamps straight. So we're going to pull out our foam piece because this is a red rubber stamp. Put our image in there. And then I have this sentiment, "Oh, the joys of those who trust the Lord." I like that one for this one. Perfect fit there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to test that out with a little piece of acetate. I'll put the acetate down in there. And put my magnet on there. And see if it's straight. Using Catherine Pooler Midnight Ink. Okay, that's the perfect fit. It is straight. Clean up our acetate, lift that off out of the way. Re-ink the stamp using my Blue Night Rubber Stamps handle. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time, and you could certainly leave it like that. I want to see how it looks with these little people I have. If it doesn't look good, then we'll leave them off. Okay, and that sentiment was from the Sunflower Sunshine set, which was on last month's Stamp Wars. All right, so I have this little silhouette of a cowboy, and it says, "My hero wears cowboy boots. I call him Daddy." It could be a grandfather, could be father, son, but there's nothing on this church that dates it, so we could actually put them right in front here like they are going to church. But I want to move this up a little bit. I have a little piece of sticky grid back there holding that down. So let's bring our acetate back into play here. Let's put that down here in the corner. And let's see how it looks. If we don't like how it looks, we don't have to use it. Kind of like that. I think we're going to add it because I think that they're the perfect silhouette. They're in front of the church. Maybe they're walking towards church. Maybe they're leaving church. I don't know. I guess I could put them over here. I like them in the corner though. Maybe this 3-year-old was getting rambunctious during church, so Dad had to take him outside for a little walk. See, if I put him here, they just look too big. Although that doesn't look too bad either, because they would be in the forefront. Maybe we'll put them there. Yeah, I think right there works better. See, this is why we use the acetate, because it gives us placement. You like it where you like it. You can put it wherever you want. So I'm going to clean my stamp off. Put my acetate back on. I'm going to move these guys to over here. See if I like that placement better. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll go with that. Okay, so we're going to take our acetate off. We're going to re-ink our stamp. pretty good. I'm going to do one more inking because it's a solid silhouette image and we want it to look very dark. I think that looks pretty good. I'm really pleased with that. I was not expecting to go down that route with it, but I like how it turned out. And that's what's fun about card making, is you never know where your imagination's going to take you. So there we go. Let me show you the original one I did, and you guys can vote as you always do and let me know which one you like better. So here is the one I colored with color pencils, nice and clean. You know, fun summer day there. And then here is the one you guys watched me do with alcohol inks with the nice evening sky. I can now add a couple more stars to it because, again, we're doing this kind of like twilight evening here. And maybe there's choir practice going on for Grandma and she's singing inside the church there and they're just hanging out outside. I don't know. So vote down below. Let me know which one you like. The one with the daytime color pencil scene or the one with the evening scene with the little cowboy and his son or his grandson. Let me know which one you like. Vote down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking the bubble on the bottom right hand corner and the bell so you get notifications every time I post new videos. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye guys.